Hi everybody, this is Hellcat back at you again with another cool video. This is a real quick introduction because the install has already been done. Yeah, I've got the Trackhawk behind me, but because we had just installed the oil catch can, the Billet Technologies oil catch can for the Trackhawk, and immediately right after that I just went ahead and installed it for the Hellcat. So this is what this video is about. So we're going to put our attention towards the Hellcat. It's already installed, but it's already recorded and it's all ready for you to see. So also, if you're looking for an unboxing of the oil catch can, just look at the Trackhawk video. Did the full unboxing with the Trackhawk. I just went ahead and installed it real quick on the Hellcat, skipped the unboxing. I never recorded the unboxing, but that's okay. If you want to see an unboxing of the Billet Technologies oil catch can, look at the Trackhawk video that I put out last week. This week's all about the Hellcat. So if you want to see that unboxing, see that video, but we're just going to do the install. Woo, woo, woo. Just going to do the install right now. So without further ado, I hope you enjoy. Okay, well, we're going to start the setup now. I've already laid out some towels. Yep, we're at the Hellcat, and you can tell right now see these air conditioning lines right here? They're not going to be in my way. So you have a lot more room to work with. I also noticed too that I can really hover over the car a lot easier because the Grand Cherokee is so high off the ground. So let me lay out everything out, go over everything that we're going to go over, and we'll get started. Okay, so let's review all the parts and pieces that we're going to be using today. We have the two hoses, one to go into the catch can to enter, one to exit. We have our ends here, which, by the way, are easy to put on. You just slide them on like so, and then we'll take the other end and slide that on like so. So when we get to that step, I'll show you how to do that. And then same thing here. Okay, so we have that. We have our lock washer and nut, which we're going to be mounting the catch can on this bolt right here. 17 millimeter wrench is what you'll need, not 16, not 18, not 5/8 or 7/8 or whatever. You have to have 17 millimeter, and then this is the catch can. Looks almost identical to the one for the Trackhawk. I believe the angles are just slightly different. Other than that, they are the same. And again, we're going to be taking off this hose here at the valve cover, and then this is where the extra oil is going right now into the intake, which goes to the supercharger, which then goes into your fuel system and out your exhaust, and that's just not a good thing. So this is what we're going to cure today, is to have it go through the catch can instead. So without further ado, the first step will be to take the valve cover off. It's very easy to take off, actually. 2 clips, and then in the front, this comes right off. So now we have an exposed valve cover, which some people like it, some people don't. Notice it's a little bit dirty, so I have to clean that. But I still like the look of the supercharged Hemi cover, and other people have some issues with it not cooling the engine or having an issue with cooling. I don't think it does, because they wouldn't have designed it that way, and I think it looks a lot better. So if you look at the two sides, I definitely like the cover. So the next step will be to get this hose off, and it's very easy. There's a clip back here that you push forward. Oh, one more thing before we start touching the engine is that you want to do this with a cold engine. That's what Nick Billet recommends. I had that issue with the Trackhawk, where it is my daily driver, and because of that, I thought after 3 hours of not driving it, the engine would have been cool, but that was not the case. It was still pretty warm, and I didn't burn myself, but it was kind of a nuisance to work with, and I had to use extra towels on the supercharger, blocking me from really, I mean, it was just kind of one extra thing I really didn't need to deal with. So right now the Hellcat has not been used all day, and it's a nice cool day. It's in the 70s all day, so it's nice and cold. So getting back to business here, I'm going to be there's a clip back here. Basically, you push it back. See, this is something that was okay. So when I did it with the Trackhawk, it was like this was over here, and this wasn't even in my way, this hose here, but now it seems to be in the way with the clip. And I got it. You gotta reach under here and grab it. and then it'll pop right out. All right, well, this is going to be a two-hand job, so let me put the camera down for just 1 sec, and I'll show you what I did after I take it off. And then, yeah, let me do that. Hold on 1 sec. Okay, so I got this off basically with 2 hands and a screwdriver, and I'll show you how I got to it because this was in the way. So I had to get a screwdriver behind where the tab is, and it popped right off. And then I'm going to do it with this one here. Again, I tried to do it with 1 hand before, and it's not going to work. So I'm going to use 2 hands. I'll show you which buttons to hit, so this way when you're doing it, you know exactly what to do. So hold on 1 second. I'll be right back. Okay, I got it off. So as you can see, the hose is now removed. So on this end, you're just going to push down here on the clip. By pushing on this releases it. Okay. And then on this side, there's this tab. You'd think they do it the same way, but there's this tab, and you have to push this. Let me show you. There's a tab right here, and you have to take your hand or your screwdriver and push this down, and that releases it. And again, with this is just pushing this down. And again, needed 2 hands, one for pushing this down and one for pulling it out. And that's how you do it. Pretty simple. All right, took about 30 seconds. All right, next step. I'm going to attach these ends to the hose, and show you some right here. I know it's, you know, in the Trackhawk it was a bigger difference, but I was told that the longer hose goes with the straight, and the shorter hose goes with the angled. Okay, so that's what we're going to do next. And make sure you do it right the first time, because the way that these hoses are put together with the these teeth here, once it's locked in, it's virtually impossible to get these things out unless you basically would have to break what you're using, and you don't want to do that. So make sure when you put it on correctly, and that is, again, longer hose, which doesn't look like it's that much longer, and goes on the straight fitting, and the shorter hose with the angled fitting. All right, let me put these on, and then we'll go to the next step. Okay, so I got them on. So I get the angle fitting on with the end, and I got the straight fitting on as well. Pretty easy, not too hard. I mean, they recommend using soap, but with these braided hoses, I found that you really don't need soap for the braided. I think on the non-braided lines, I think Nick Billet demoed it with the soap, but with this, I didn't need it. So, and don't worry about these letters. I kind of angled it so that you won't see them, and if you do, you can always use a magic marker to get rid of the letters, or you can keep them there. It's up to you, but I kind of did it so that hopefully I won't see the letters when it's after it's mounted. So next step. Now this is a step that I recommend only because this is what I had an issue with the Trackhawk, and that is I want to put these on first. So I'm going to put this hose on first, and then I'm going to put this hose on first, okay? And then I'm going to put the catch can on, because I think when I put the catch can on first, I had a difficult time getting that fitting to work there. So I think that's what I'm going to do next. I'm going to put these on the engine, and then we're going to work on putting on the catch can, and then we'll go to the next step after that. Okay, I'll be right back, because it's a two-handed job. Okay, I got the first hose on, as you can see. It goes on pretty easily. You just push it all the way down. It's not going to go down all the way to the end here, but as long as the hose is touching the end of this, you'll be fine. So that looked good. Next, I'm going to install this hose onto the valve cover. Okay, as you can see, I installed it. Again, if I could have done it probably with one hand at this point, but as you can see, it's all the way down to the bottom. You can't go any further. And then you just wrap these hoses into the catch can after I mount it. So now the next step is to mount it. All right, so I'm going to do a little dry fit for you, give you an idea what I'm going to do. So we're going to just take this and put it on the nut, like so. It's all the way down to the end. I'm going to make sure it's a little bit level, and then I'm going to start putting on the nut. And again, it's a two-handed job, so I'm going to put the phone down. I'm sorry, we're going to put the camera down and mount this, and we'll go to the next step after that. Nut on first, then put the nut on second. It's not fully tightened and it's not level yet, but I just wanted to show you what it looks like before I tighten it. So the next step is I'm going to tighten it with the 17 millimeter open end wrench. Also, you can use an adjustable wrench. I forgot to mention that, but if you have a 17 millimeter handy, it's easier to use that. All right, we'll go to the next step. Let me tighten this up and I'll show you what's next. Okay, I believe it's tight enough. It's still got a little bit of play in it, but I wanted to have that for when I put the hoses on, and I'll give it one more good crank. But if you eyeball it, line it up with the supercharger, you want to make sure that this lines up with this where it's level, and that will automatically make the catch can level. So I think it looks pretty good. All right, so the next step is going to be put the hoses on. So this hose here is going to attach to this part of the catch can, and then this hose here from the valve cover is going to go on this end. So again, the straight end is going to go up into this part of the catch can, and again the hose from the valve cover is going to go up and over into this spot here. And again, when you're doing it, don't forget to put your ends on before you do it, because like I said, once you have these installed, it's going to be hard to undo your mistake if you make a mistake. So I recommend that you do your straight fitting first, get that up and in, and then do this one second. So we're going to do the straight fit first, and I'll show you what that looks like after I install it. Okay, as you can see, I got the first hose locked and loaded into the catch can. Now we're going to take this hose from the valve cover, and we're going to install that right here. And I'll be right back. Okay, I think our installation is almost complete. So again, I got the hose from the straight fitting from the intake diaphragm. That's loaded. That's going to be installed here. And then the hose from the valve cover, that goes from here over into the front of the catch can. The catch can did move a little bit, so now, as you can see, it's a little bit off level. So what I'm going to do now, because I didn't tighten it all the way, now I'll bring it back to level, I'll tighten the nut, and then our installation is now complete. And then we'll start up to test everything out. Okay, so I re-leveled it. Looks really good. As level as it could be. I mean, you don't want to use a level, let's say, because you figure the engine is pretty level, but if I'm on the street, it's not going to be level. So the street could be crooked, and I don't want to throw that off because of gravity. So you just want to really eyeball it, and as you can see, you know, I got it's pretty spot on. You can always loosen it and retighten it. Also, when it comes to tightening in this bolt, you don't want to over tighten it. You just want to firm it up so that the catch can doesn't move. Once the catch can doesn't move, you're good to go. You may want to check it periodically just in case it does move from normal wear, but I would say drive it 100 miles and then check it just to make sure it's still level. And if it's not, then you want to make sure you want to tighten that nut, because it's got a lock nut on it, and as you can see, it's pretty flat. So once it's flat, the nut's not going to move and it's not going to loosen itself. So I think this is almost done. So the last step in this is we're going to put the valve cover back on, and once I do that, we are done. Okay, I think we're done. So I put the valve cover back on. As you can see, all you can really see on the Hellcat, it's interesting, all you can really see on the Hellcat is the fitting. Fitting butts up against it really nicely, actually almost perfectly. The hose goes into this next thing, and notice you can't see the letters, so that's the way you want to also make sure, now that you know what curves you're going to do with the hose, when you're doing this, if you have to twist the hose inside the fitting so that the letters don't appear, that's something you may want to try to do before you put it on the catch can itself. You can always spin the hose while it's not attached to both ends. If it's attached to just the one end, you can still spin it. So that looks pretty good. It's level, looks good. It doesn't show the brass, and that's what I was going to say before. On the Trackhawk, it showed the brass fitting a lot easier than on the Hellcat. So, Nick, if you're watching, you're good to go if it's a Hellcat. But the Trackhawk is slightly different, and for whatever reason, I can see the brass fitting, but you can't with the Hellcat. So, the next step, final step, start this bad boy up. Make sure I don't throw a code, which I shouldn't. And I'll let it run for like 5 minutes, and we'll call this installation complete. Looks really good, by the way, with the catch can and the leg maker. Really nice. All right, let me start this up, and then we'll call this a complete install. All right, start the engine. Everything looks good. It looks so nice. Satin Finish is the winner. Looks so cool. So between the Billet technology catch can and the leg maker carbon fiber intake, you can actually kind of hear the whine a little bit. Oh man, this looks so sweet. It's like jewelry under the hood. Looks fantastic. All right, let this run a little bit. I'll let it shut it down, and then we'll close out the video. We'll give you my ending thoughts, my summarizing thoughts, my opinions, how well we did. But this looks absolutely fantastic. Awesome. Nick Billet, the winner. Cool. Alright, we'll see you in my final thought. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video that I just did for installing the oil catch can for the Billet Technologies oil catch can for the Hellcat. Since I've already done it with the Trackhawk and I've already done it with the Hellcat, I've got some practice now. So if you have any questions on installing your own oil catch can, feel free to drop me a comment, ask me a question. I feel like I'm not an expert, but you know, I feel like I'm very confident in my abilities to install both of them now. I can install it for the Trackhawk, I can install it for the Hellcat. If you have any questions, I can help you out. So without further ado, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, tap the like button. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, tap the bell notifications to see the rest of my videos, especially when it comes to anything Trackhawk, anything Hellcat. Also coming up, don't forget, I got two, not one, but I got two leg maker intakes to install, and we're gonna install it for the Trackhawk, we're gonna install it for the Hellcat, and those videos are coming. So when you do subscribe, make sure you tap that bell so you don't miss those installs when they come, when I get a chance to edit and put them up on YouTube. As well as I got more things from Billet Technologies coming. Those installs are coming. They're recorded as well, and I'll be posting those soon. So please tap that bell so this way you'll be notified when those videos come out. Appreciate it. And also share the videos and put in a comment if you have any questions. So like I said before, hope you enjoyed this video. Take care, enjoy the rest of your day, and without further ado, I wish you peace, peace, peace. And thanks for watching.